Review code provided by the publisher. Back in April of this year, Nintendo's Indie World Showcase revealed Cat Quest 3, and I immediately thought this was a meme game. Playing as a cute little cat and wearing pirate costumes, you probably drink milk to heal or something. I was not interested, especially in a game that is called Cat Quest 3, but I had to admit, the visuals were pretty, and I ended up downloading and playing the demo, and ultimately, it convinced me that what we have here is a high-quality indie title. I had to check it out. If you didn't know already, Cat Quest 3 is a mini action RPG where you traverse an overworld, you fight baddies, look for treasure, and sail around in a little pirate ship. There are caves and mini castle dungeons to loot, but most of your time is done on the gorgeous overworld, and I really love how this series makes the overworld a literal map, with the names of the islands sketched in big letters floating on the surface of the water. What stood out the most playing through this game was that the near constant progression just feels incredible. There are new abilities and discoveries and treasure to unlock everywhere you go. I got so sidetracked playing this game that I wasn't even sure what the main objective was after doing several hours of side quests. It's like a non-stop rush of dopamine. You get rewards for absolutely everything. I remember defeating a boss at the top of a tower, which immediately granted some rare gear and experience, only for there to be a chest that immediately pops up, and then as I exited the dungeon, it unlocked another room in the dungeon which had even more rewards for clearing it. Seriously, it feels so good to constantly upgrade and constantly get new stuff and constantly level up without any weird monetization behind it. They knew what they were doing. It's just so concise, and I still got, a good 10 to 15 hours out of this game. I really loved combing the world to finish side quests, and I was always excited to see what weirdo NPC we would meet next. As I suspected, just about everything in the game is full of cat puns, but that doesn't take away from some surprisingly emotional story beats and a thrilling overarching plot with some very, very funny dialogue. One highlight for me was hearing about two star-crossed starfish lovers that were writing letters to each other from across the ocean. Another great thing about this game is that there's enough customization to make builds of a sort. I started out by just going for the highest damage equipment that I could find, but then I ended up finding a magic staff I really liked, and then I modified it to attack faster, which makes these little homing sentry crystals appear, and then I wore armor that buffs arcane damage, along with an accessory that sometimes causes your more powerful spells to be cast for free, and, well, I could go on. The gameplay is simple, but there's just enough customization to keep me engaged the entire way through. So there's great exploration, it has beautiful visuals, there's non-stop progression, and there's customization in the combat. All great things, but what elevated this game to me more than anything is the fact that the entire thing can be played in co-op, which is what I did. Everything feels like it was built with this in mind. It's not clunky, the camera isn't that much of a nuisance. The only thing that seemed a little weird with co-op was trying to both pilot the same ship. But you know what? Fighting over the ship controls was honestly a fun part of my overall experience. So, it wouldn't be fair for me to be the only one sharing my thoughts about this game. Here's what my wife Mariah has to say about it.
I think it's fair to say that I generally have less experience with gaming than Jared does. So in a lot of ways I'm coming at this from more of a casual standpoint, but overall I was really impressed with how dense of an experience Cat Quest 3 is. They really packed a lot of fun content into a nice small package. The world isn't very big, but it is quite open and there's lots of things to do anywhere you go. And in co-op it was really fun to find sort of synergies that you could use between the two characters. So, for example, I prefer to not have to think about dodging during combat, but because of the different customization options, I could level myself in ways that I didn't have to, and I could focus on healing when I took damage, or more defensive builds. I also agree with Jared in that the NPCs and the little side quests and smaller interactions with the world and the characters were really fun and well written. It is a great addition to any library.
And that is our little review of Cat Quest 3. It's a superbly satisfying game to play, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. I recommend it to just about anyone. Seriously, I can't think of any drawbacks for this game. And I especially recommend it as a couch co-op experience. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm Jared, and I will level with you next time.